Hey ladies and gents, this is Dwarf coming at you with the review of 3 figures. They're the Legion Builders. They're at least some of the Legion Builders. There is Skeleton Legion Builder, there is the Silver Knight Legion Builder, and there is the Silvery Dwarf Legion Builder. So a lot of people have been asking me to go over articulation, accessories, and stuff in my reviews. And honestly, if I had to do a articulation rundown every time I did a review, I would, I just rather stick needles in my eyes than do that over and over again because there are just so many figures. But I'm going to try to do it for you here. I've done it in other reviews, like in my review of Ford, but I'm going to try to do that as I review these figures that are the Legion Builders. These are great figures, and especially if you got it on the Kickstarter, give you tons of bang for the buck. The reason being is that they don't have a lot of paint apps, so the paint apps are plain for the most part, but they still look awesome, and they have all the articulation and accessories that all the regular figures have. So if you want an army build, these are your Legion Builders. Okay, let's start out with the Skeleton Legion Builder. Okay, this skeleton looks awesome. I mean, look at the paint there on the face and how well that's done, and the teeth. They really didn't skimp on any of the bone. There's wash there. You can see the cracks and crevices. Excellent job there with the wash, just making it look like old weathered bone and an undead warrior. He's got very good range of motion on his neck, so check out that range of motion there on in his articulation. Any kind of pose that you want, front, back, side to side, very expressive. There are skeletons that do have the jaw articulation. I think maybe Malus might be the one. I haven't opened it yet, but this one does not have jaw articulation. You can pop the head off and switch it up with other figureheads on there. You've got the neck peg on skeletons, as you can tell, has a number of vertebrae there in the front, so it's different from the regular neck peg on the regular figures, but again, that's painted really nice and well. So you can also pop the neck peg off if you wanted to, for some reason, put a human head or an armored head on the skeleton body, and it'll just look great, and it'll be pretty seamless there. So I'm going to pop the head back on. Now, so you have all that neck range of motion, and then you also have a lot of range of motion when it comes to the arms. And the reason that happens is because this armor piece here is flexible, so it slides over when you put the shoulder up, and you can move the shoulder up. You can rotate the shoulder, no problem, hand up. So a good range of motion with these shoulders on both sides. You can do that, and the joints are nice and tight. When you open these and you start playing with them, make sure you take care, just like with any other figure, that the joints are going to be somewhat tight, so you might need to loosen them up at first. I haven't had any problems with like paints or stuck joints or anything like that, but there's always a chance that you might run into a figure that might have some of those issues. You might need to loosen it up with the hairdryer. I haven't, like I said, but your mileage may vary. So that's the shoulder, full range of motion on the shoulder. You also have the elbow joints, of course, very important, and they come forward 90 degrees, and they swivel. So that's about as good as range of motion that you can have on a figure. It doesn't have double jointed elbows. That would probably look weird on a skeleton, but I think this is the best solution when it comes to elbow articulation and preserving the sculpt. Plus, you don't have bicep swivels either, but you have this neat swivel here at the forearm, and you also have the swivel here at the wrist, and then you have the wrist articulation here so that it goes back and forth, and you have that hinge on the wrist. So there's that. It's the same on both sides. You've got good range of motion. There's a ball joint here at the waist, so he can twist back and forth. He can go, he can twist side to side. He can go back and forth. Good range of motion there, and then some side to side there. So you know, the legs have very good range of motion. He can do karate kicks, can do side kicks, can of course kick forward, kick back. The hip joints provide a great range of motion, and they're hidden by the folds there. So you've got the folds, you've got the flexible loincloth, and none of that hinders the articulation in the least. You do not have mid-thigh swivels on the bones because that would kind of ruin the sculpt, and I don't think that it would also make the figure weaker. So that was a good decision on the skeletons not to go with the mid-thigh swivels, but you have very good range of motion on the knee, okay, and you can also swivel at the knee. So wide range of poses that you can get to in that respect. You have a swivel at the ankle, you have back and forth at the ankle, and you have excellent rocker ankles here. Just like all the figures have excellent rocker ankles. So you can go right, left. That allows you to get into really cool battle poses. You can crouch, you can, you know, do a bunch of different things, and the feet will always be flush on the ground, so it'll stand and it'll hold excellent poses. So obviously articulation on the left side is the same as the articulation on the right side below the waist. So that's the rundown of Skeleton Warrior. Actually, you know, this is a perfect skeleton figure, an armored undead warrior. He comes with this battle axe that, of course, can also go from single-bladed to double-bladed. I've explained before how that happens, but he comes with a battle axe, okay? He comes with a couple of pauldrons that hook in here in the back, and I didn't put those on because I wanted to show you the articulation. They don't really hinder the articulation, but it's easier to see what the shoulders can do when the pauldrons aren't on. With the pauldrons on, he can still do that because the pauldrons go up, the pauldrons go down, you know, and so it's still really well articulated. Also comes with this, one of the standard swords, some bright silver, looks great, excellently painted. So he's got the axe, he's got the sword, he's also got the dagger as well. Okay, and he comes, and all of the figures come with this belt that you can either put around the waist and hang a sword from, or you can cross it across the chest. You know, there's a bunch of different ways that you can use this little belt, and I've seen some awesome mashups and customs that configure it with an X across the chest. Just countless different ways. Skeleton Warrior, actually, this guy is one of my favorite figures, bar none. It's a standard skeleton, so you know, who doesn't love that? Okay, so then we go to the knight, which is very much like the standard skeleton figure in the armored components. He's got, you know, like I said, a wide range of motion on his shoulders. He's got the elbow. He does not have a shoulder swivel, but he does have the forearm swivel, and he can swivel at the elbow, and he has a hinge and swivel at the wrists. So that is the articulation. Same waist articulations on a ball joint, so he's got all that motion. Head has great range of motion as well. This knight, because of his helmet, can look up and down, and pretty much do anything that any other figure can do. The knight looks great just with the silver. I imagine that most knights probably didn't have the elaborate paint schemes featured in the other Mythic Legions figures, but this is great as an army builder. This is great, so you can mix and match with other figures. And it comes with, hold on, comes with a gold shield, a plain gold shield. It comes with this spear, gold spear, and it comes with a solid gold sword. So awesome there. Comes with a couple of silver pauldrons that, again, hook in just like the other ones did. I won't even spend the time hooking those in because you already know how those work. So that is the Silver Knight. Silver Knight, again, could not be any better as a standard figure and gives you tons of bang for the buck and tons of mixing and matching potential. So he is, I guess I didn't show you below the waist, but he has the same as the skeleton, except he's got the knight legs, right? And the armored legs and the armored bottoms. So, okay, skeleton. Dwarf. This silvery dwarf, it's kind of like a mix between the color on the skeleton and the mix between the color on the knight. So it's not super duper silver, but it's not super duper, you know, gunmetal gray either. It's kind of a really cool color that he's got here. I love the horns, which provide it with an extra point of articulation. You can put it down, you can put it up, you can mix and match. So 1, 2 more points of articulation there. The head, great range of motion. Again, you know how that works with the neck peg, just like the skeleton figure that I showed. This guy has a the same shoulder articulation. The only difference is I think his arms are shorter. So I think the forearms are actually shorter, giving him more of a squat appearance and a stout appearance. But he still has the swivel and the hinge at the hand. He still's got the swivel at the forearm, okay, and the elbow. Everything's the same. The shoulder ball joint, forward, back, side to side. His legs are obviously shorter, but they have full range of articulation as well, side to side, front to back. You know, he can kick. He's got the same swivel and hinge at the knee, and he's got the great rocker ankles, which are going to make all the difference when you put him in the battle poses. So, as far as the dwarf, his accessories are, and I think I'm kind of mixed. Wait a second. Okay, don't quote me on that, but I think he comes with a, wow, where did I put those accessories? He comes with a very cool spear that's got, you know, it's color coordinated to him with a silver top, spearhead. He comes with a gold sword. He comes, I mean not a gold, a silver sword. He comes with matching pauldrons that fit on him just like they do all of the regular figures. So he also comes with the belt and may or may not come with the axe. I seem to have misplaced that part. But anyway, those are the Legion builders. You've got the dwarf, you've got the knight, you've got the skeleton. Excellent articulation, fully accessorized, cheaper than the regular figures, at least they were in the Kickstarter. Less paint apps, but no less cool because hey, you can mix and match. You know, you can take 2 Legion builders, you can take a gold one, and you can put a gold head on a silver body, or do whatever you want. You know, it's part of the play pattern, and it's part of the imagination.